Hi guys, welcome back to Movies That Matter. This is episode 3 of the Movies That Matter show. I was going to upload my show from Instagram straight onto YouTube, but stupid me, I deleted it by accident, so I'll do a separate one here for YouTube. It's okay, I don't mind talking about it again. But yeah, there's a lot of drama on the timeline the last few days about the Ayer cut announcement and about the Snyder cut trailers and all that kind of stuff kicking off. And people very much getting annoyed and throwing their hatred towards AT&T, Warner Media, HBO Max, and so on, using conspiracy theories like Toby Emmerich's new position over AT&T content is causing this disruption. Could be Jeff Johns, could be Josh Whedon. I can understand why people feel those elements. Because look, we've been hurt before by WB in terms of the Justice League in 2017 and then Suicide Squad, and so yeah, we are a bit hesitant when news or things like this do break and come out. But my opinion of it is that it's a rebranding. And I said this in the other day in the video. I think it's a rebranding of the marketing. Okay, so if you look at Zack Snyder's Justice League, we don't know what the definite title for the film is. Is it the Snyder Cut? Is it Director's Cut Justice League? Is it Zack Snyder's Justice League? We don't know. HBO Max need to find out that quickly so they can start marketing this product as best as they can, because they don't want Warner Brothers don't want another situation on their hands like Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey underperformed at the box office. They thought Harley Quinn was the answer for a standalone movie, but in my opinion, the marketing is what killed that movie, not the actual movie. I like the movie. The marketing, compared to Suicide Squad, the marketing for Birds of Prey was terrible. The title was terrible. Birds of Prey and the blah 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 Harley Quinn didn't work, and after a few weeks the box office wasn't good. What did they do? They changed the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. So at the moment now, they can't really start marketing the Snyder Cut because they don't know the name. And maybe what all this is a rebranding to figure out what the name is. So when they have a title, that's the title they're sticking with, and that's the marketing campaign that starts there. And people were upset, and Grace Randolph herself, super online, big YouTuber, a lot of people were asking her, what's the story with the Snyder Cut trailers, Grace? And this is what she had to say. She goes, I'm looking into the disappearing Snyder Cut trailers. This is a difficult situation with very high stakes for all. Everyone should tread very carefully and responsibly when discussing this. See, I don't know. That's a bit, I think it's blown out of proportion a bit and a bit dramatic, can I say. We don't really know. And difficult situation, high stakes. Like, what's going to happen? Zack Snyder's Justice League going to get cancelled? No, it's not. They're doing additional photography right now. They're putting 70 million into this production for it to be a success and hopefully lead to spin-offs. And HBO Max needs this to be a success because their subscription rate isn't as good as they want right now. But that's to come, because it's only a new service and it isn't internationally like Netflix or Amazon yet. But people were afraid, is it going to be cancelled? Is Toby Emmerich cancelling the Snyder Cut? No, guys. Don't worry, don't panic. The Snyder Cut is coming out in 2021. It's coming on HBO Max. They're doing additional photography right now. Yes, I was a little bit concerned myself when the official HBO Max YouTube channel did. Everyone thought they deleted the trailer. I went and I looked. You press it. You go on to Zack Snyder's his Twitter page or his Vero, and you click the link to the trailer. It just says private. It's not deleted. So I'm guessing is when the trailer is re-uploaded or put back up or put on public, the other trailers will be released on the other platforms, maybe with a new trailer, but with the actual official title of the film, so they can start marketing, because there is confusion. Is it called the Snyder Cut? Is it called the Director's Cut of Justice League? Is it called Zack Snyder's Justice League? You can't start marketing this product unless you figure out what the title is, because there's a million names out there for this film, and there needs to be one. There has to be one, so the audiences, not us, the general audiences, can understand what this film is, what it's called, where to find it, what time to watch it. That's what the marketing needs to get across, and they have not started that yet. I would be afraid if the Snyder Cut was coming out in 2 months. I would be afraid if the Snyder Cut was coming out in 3 months or 4 months, because the marketing so far has been good, but it hasn't been good enough to set it up to be a success on the HBO Max platform. Internationally, it's not available yet, but it needs to figure out what the title is and figure out how they're going to market this so general audiences get interested and people want to watch it. Grace then later said, update, I hear Warner Brothers are trying to come up with a reason to give the press for removing all the trailers. Not a good sign. So that's again a bit of an exaggeration there, because then Grace came out about an hour later and said everything's fine, they'll be re-uploading the trailer as soon as possible. So I think people were panicking for no reason. I think there was just a lot of drama surrounding the Snyder Cut and the Ayer Cut this week, and that's understandable. I can see where people were coming from, but give it time. And I said this the other day, when a negative comes, use it as a positive. Talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League even more. Show AT&T, show Jason Killer how much this product and this service means to us. How much thanks we have towards them for announcing this in the first place and giving it to us as fan base. So when something negative comes that we think is negative, turn it into a positive. Use it to drive the focus even more, that we can't wait to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League whenever it comes out and whatever the title is. Because at the end of the day, Zack Snyder's Justice League is the title that Zack Snyder wants himself. That's the one I want because he wants it. If it ends up being the Snyder Cut or the director's cut, I'm okay too. But remember, that's what Zack Snyder wanted, and there was a lot of logistics behind it, stopping it from being called that. So maybe that's what's going on behind the scenes, and maybe finally they figured out what the title is for the movie, which is good because again, they can start marketing the product. That's what I'm talking about, the marketing. So that's why I think it's a rebranding of the social media marketing. I could be completely wrong. Could it be the conspiracy theorists right? Yeah, they could be. I could be fully wrong. But do I think the Snyder Cut is going to be cancelled? No, I don't. 70 million to cancel something straight away? This isn't Swamp Thing, so this is way bigger. This is a huge IP with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman in a TV show like we've never seen before. This has never happened before. So the thing is going to be cancelled because a few trailers have been deleted off the social medias? No, I don't think so. That's just my opinion, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Snyder Cut trailers being deleted. Now let's move on to the Ayer Cut. A lot of discussion over the last few days that a big announcement was coming regarding the David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad. And you know me, I like the 2016 version, but I know David Ayer and Jared Leto were robbed. Their character, the Joker, was butchered. But I'm glad Jared Leto is coming back for additional photography to redeem his character to some extent. But let's talk about this. The Ayer Cut was hyped up to have an announcement. I think Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. And finally, an article did come out. Was it the trades? Was it the director? Was it the actor? Was it the writers? No. It was a UK website. David Ayer's cut of the Suicide Squad is happening, and it will be on HBO Max towards the end of 2021. Now, a lot of people were angry towards this, and rightfully so. The Ayer Cut account kind of hyped up a lot of things about something dropping. Now, they didn't say what it was. And look, I'm not going against small screen here. I'm not saying that's a bad source for content. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying on this one, they got it wrong. They did get it wrong. Now, they might be very good for other news. I don't know. I know they're a small YouTube channel. I've looked at their page a few times. They have some well-written articles, and this is a well-written article with some interesting stuff. But this is everything we already know. We know there's more Joker. That's in this article. We know it's around 3 hours. That's in this article. We know it ties up with Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's in this article. And they say that at the end of 2021, which does seem kind of realistic, because I don't think two Suicide Squad films will release so close together. Now, do I think it will come up for the end of the year? I think it should, but it won't come out until we know if Zack Snyder's Justice League is a success for AT&T and HBO Max. And then it's a good decision to greenlight other projects like the Batfleck series, like the spin-off Batfleck series, and the Ayer Cut, and other projects like that. But only if Zack Snyder's Justice League is a success, which I think it will. But many fans got so excited about this the last few days. They thought this was it. They thought the announcement was coming for the Ayer Cut. And you know what? Part of me was like, I think we're going to be let down, because I've been here before with the Snyder Cut movement. We've heard rumours, articles, things like that, where people have said, oh, it's coming, and then we were let down. David Ayer himself, and thankfully he did, he came out straight away and he said it was not true. Any truth today exclusive, not true. So David Ayer, I don't think he's lying either, because over the last 8 months, he's been very honest with the fan base. He has talked openly about what happened with his cut, what Warner Brothers did, what the executives did, what the studio did, what exactly Jeff Johns did. I don't think he would lie here. I don't think he would have pulled people's legs. I think he's being honest, and he said not true, which I believe him. I think it's only going to come out when Zack Snyder's Justice League is a success. I don't think it's going to get announced before that whatsoever. Some people are saying Christmas, maybe. We'll see. It's interesting. But the Ayer Cut account, and accounts like this need to be careful because they set fans up for a failure. They have a great fan base of fans, a great amount of followers, and that's unbelievable, who trust them, who follow them for reliable sources, for reliable content, and to just spread the word about the Ayer cut. But when you kind of hype, and maybe they didn't do it themselves, it was other people, but when you hype this stuff up really high and it doesn't end up being the way that people want, they're going to come up with pitchforks, they're going to get angry, they're going to get annoyed. And when this wasn't a reliable source, when it wasn't from any of the director or the actors or anything like that, then people were upset. You have to be careful with what kind of stuff you put out there. Now, if they come out and said it was coming from the trades or someone involved in the project, then say that. But if it's coming out from an unknown source that people don't know of, say that as well. That's okay. They can say that. That's okay. But just be honest with the people who follow the account and don't let things get out of hand, because then you probably lose people along the way. And people are negative and angry, and they attack people online, and then they probably go at Warner Brothers hard, and then it doesn't look good for David Ayer that his fan base is attacking Warner Brothers social media accounts or stuff like that, you know. So you have to be very careful with the information that you get out there. The energy for the Snyder Cut announcement, the build up was great. We could feel it in the air that this was happening. I didn't feel it this weekend for the Ayer Cut. I didn't. There was a buzz around that week of the Snyder Cut. We all just kind of knew it was happening. Here with the Ayer Cut, it was false hope, you know. So a lot of drama this week got to do with the Ayer Cut, with the Snyder Cut, and it seems to be that many of us think it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true that the Snyder Cut is coming, and that the Ayer Cut is a possibility, that we nitpick at every little thing and think it's the end of the world. And I understand why we do that. I understand the circumstances that Warner Bros. Have put the DC universe in over the last few years. But it's happening under a new direction. And it's happening because we live in a world where there is no theatrical experiences, where there is low on content, but also there is a demand for both of these products. And if Zack Snyder's Justice League turns out to be a huge success, which I hope it does, then more of this content will come, including the Ayer Cut. Now let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher was at a Comic-Con during the weekend. Also, Ray Porter was there, all virtually, of course, and he was asked in an interview, hey, Ray Fisher, how much of what you shot in 2017, or how much in the 2017 film, was a reshoot? Can you guess how much was a reshoot? Now, I went into the 2017 film, and I could feel that this wasn't a Snyder film. A lot of it looked digital, a lot of it looked reshot. It just didn't look good, and part of me was thinking that Snyder didn't get to finish his vision and Josh Whedon did the best thing he could, but then I looked at the trailers and I realised this was false also. But Ray Fisher had this to say. He said that the only part in the whole of the 2017 theatrical cut of Justice League, the only part that was a Snyder scene that involved Ray Fisher's Cyborg was the rooftop scene with Commissioner Gordon. And how long was that? That was about a 30 to 40 second scene, maybe a minute. That was the only scene that Ray Fisher was in that was a Snyder scene in the 2017 theatrical version. Get that through your head. How much of Ben Affleck, how much of Aquaman, how much of Gal, how much of these characters and actors was actually a Snyder shot in the 2017 film? Very little. Fabian Wagner proved this before. He said 10% of Snyder's work was used in the theatrical. And I could always tell this as well. I've said this for a very long time. I never believed that Snyder had 50%, 60, 80 of his film in this film. Never believed it. Because look at the trailers. Look at the colour grading. Look at the score. Look at the way it's shot. It's not Zack Snyder. And you know what? The percentage of that movie that has Zack Snyder element in it, it's not Zack Snyder either. I don't care. You can't convince me. Even if there's scenes, I do not care. It's not Zack Snyder. What it is, in fact, it may be a Zack Snyder scene that he shot, but it was altered. It was changed by Josh Whedon, by Jeff Johns, by John Berg, but the people involved, they changed it. It could be a Zack Snyder shot, but they changed something about it. So for me, that's not a Snyder shot. And you heard Zack Snyder. There will not be 1 ounce of that movie in his movie. So what we're getting in 2021 is a complete, uncut look at Zack Snyder's vision, which is unbelievable. And it's amazing to hear that from Ray. And that kind of confirms what I've always thought, that a lot of that movie was completely Josh Whedon. Now let's move on to the next topic. Now, speaking of Ray Fisher, of course, that mess with the Forbes article the other day where they changed the headline because it didn't suit a certain narrative. Sharez Farouk lost his job with Forbes, and Josh Whedon's representation made a statement in defense saying Ray Fisher was telling lies. This is what Ray Fisher had to say. My team and I have been in contact with Forbes regarding the unorthodox changes that were made to the October 29th article written by Sharez Farouk. Even more concerning is that Sharez is now listed as a former contributor. I will personally and my team look into this. So Yeah, that happened. He lost his job because of the article he wrote. But fair play to Ray Fisher, he is looking into it. He is gonna sort that out, hopefully, in some extent. And you know what? It just shows you how corrupt things are, how much power people have, that decisions like this can be made. But it's glad Ray Fisher is speaking out about it, and I'm glad that Shiraz Farouk is getting the support he deserves. So that's brilliant to hear, and it was a really well written article as well, a lot of information, and yeah. So that was pretty good from them. It's good from Ray to come out like that. Now, last topic I want to talk about is the UK theatres are now shut down. Okay, so I'm on lockdown here now for the next 5 weeks. The UK has just gone into lockdown for 5 weeks. Also, we've been in the last two. Cinemas here have been closed the last 2 weeks. Cinemas in the UK are closing right now. So look, there wasn't much movies coming out anyway. There wasn't much to go see. There wasn't really good content. The last movie I saw was New Mutants. The cinema I usually go to did not show Tenet, so I haven't seen Tenet yet. So there wasn't much to see anyway. There was some old movies. Some of the cinemas for me were far away, so I couldn't really go that often. So it brings me to the point: is the theatrical experience going to die? Is it going to die out? Well, unless it gets back on its feet very quickly, it looks like that's a case that could be made. It's disappointing if that doesn't happen, but how long is these lockdowns going to go on for? How many times is theatres going to be shut down? There's only so many times a business can close down completely and open back up. I know parts in America they're closed down, but some parts are open. So it really is disappointing to see how the theatrical experience is going around the world. I hope it can survive. I hope things get back right. But I think there needs to be 3, 4, 5, 6 blockbusters in a row to convince people to come back and that it's safe. I haven't heard of any times or any stories of people getting COVID within a theatre. But nobody wants to be the fall guy. These studios need to work together to come up with a plan to distribute big movie after big movie after big movie to get audiences to come back, and I don't think any of them are willing to be the fall guy. They look at Tenet as one who tried and failed, but in my opinion, if Tenet had another movie coming out after it, and then another movie coming out after it with a big marketing campaign, with a big cast, a big profile movie, then I think we'd be in a better position we are right now with the theatrical experience. And maybe not just after Tenet, but maybe they could start doing this in April and May of next year, with Fast and the Furious and the Jurassic Parks, if that's coming out next year, or maybe it's delayed another year. It's hard to keep track at this stage, but it's just disappointing. Nobody wants to be the fall guy. It might take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockbusters in a row to get people to come back, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 might be failures. But no studio wants to be the fall guy. They don't want to lose money, so none of them are willing to take that risk. So theatres are shut down again in Ireland and in the UK and probably some parts of Europe as well, so it's just disappointing. We'll have to continue to watch it on our big TVs and our laptops, but at least we get to see content. But I hope the theatrical experience comes back, and maybe Wonder Woman can be that, but I have my doubts over that as well. Guys, thanks very much for listening to and watching Movies That Matter Episode 3, a show that brings all the latest movie and TV news, reviews and trailers, reaction. There isn't much to really talk about nowadays, but I'm doing these segments now. This is Episode 3. If you haven't seen the other 2 episodes, please check them out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think of this new kind of thing that I'm going for. The video I wanted to upload, I deleted it by accident, as I said, but you can go find that on Instagram at Movies That Matter, the Viking. Come follow me on Twitter at MovieBuff100. I'm doing these kind of episodes so I can get all this information impact in a video for you and maybe interact with you a little bit more. The videos, of course, are live streamed on Instagram, so I'd love to see you there. Anyway, guys, have a good night and goodbye.